All right, we got a dedicated 240 volt line to the bedroom now. Feeding this here transformer setup. Here's my temporary 240 line. I've got a like an RV temporary pole deal that's going to hook up there and have a 50 amp, a 30 amp, and a 20 amp outlets on it, so I can plug everything in. It'll have 240 and 110 outlets. But I just couldn't help myself. I had to try it. So now I've got my two transformers wired up for 240 now. This is still a voltage doubler. So just the radio. I'm in low and average. Audio. Maybe 2 watts of average. Audio. About 10 watts of swing. Why do I have this radio turned down that much? Well, because I don't want to overdrive this. So now we're going to put this in on. It's on high. I don't want to make more than like 450 watts. Let's see, we're making an average. We're still on low, so it's a 1-to-1 on the screen. Audio. Making about 35 watts average. Let's go to high now. Normally this will make, 700 if I had all tubes in it, but I'm 500 with just the 4 that I have in there now. Now it's turned down, so I'm hoping to only make about 4. Audio. So about 400, 375 with a high tone audio. Okay, so now here's my high voltage right at about 3600. Step down the pedal, modulate. Audio drops down to about 3200. My plate amperes. Audio still on high. See what my grid's doing. Audio under 2. So I'll put about 450 watts peak into this. So I'm on high mode now. So 1 is 100 is 1,000, 200 is 2,000, 300 is 3,000. Got about a 200 watt carrier. Audio. So that's 450 in, 2,600 out. So obviously it's not very linear anymore, but it's that. Audio. 2,700. Not bad. Of course, into my MFJ dummy load, can't do that for very long before it gets hot. So ignore all the deadly over here. That'll be replaced. That was the old cord that I used to send down to my Variac, which is only 110 volts. It was then plugged into the wall. I kept tripping the breaker. So now I've got a dedicated circuit just for that. There's some spare parts. There's the original transformer. There's the original power box caps. This transformer's for something else. So yeah. I don't hate it. I got an aluminum case coming for that. Make a power supply that can sit right here where all these parts are. But that ain't bad. Let's see what the tubes look like. It's been a minute. Probably had a chance to cool down. Kill the camera. Flash. Can't even see him. I got some heat. Ooh, yeah, I get some. They're barely even glowing. Audio 1, 2. How about just talking? How about if we just talk? If we just talk in a normal voice, we can sit there and modulate at about 2,000 to 2,500. Just talking. So obviously this isn't the way I'm going to carry it. This isn't the way I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it in low. And I'm going to turn it up so that my dead key is about 300. Yeah, 400, whatever. And this is probably about how I run it. Right around 1,800 watts. 1,800 watts talking audio. Maybe 1,900 with an audio. So yeah, it's coming together. Like I said, it'll be a couple of days before I get a mount. It's basically a sub panel right there. It has breakers and 3 different sized outlets with different voltages. See what the tubes are looking like. Bottom 2 rings are nice and bright. The middle ring is glowing. The top 2 rings are still low. I've got a couple of fans on it too. I've got a little blower, little squirrel cage blower up on the pins now as well. So, not going to run it like this, obviously, but I had to give it a try. See if I'm even contemplating now on whether or not I actually want to do a full bridge. Bought the diodes for it, but that thing is pretty stiff now. They're like 3,200. Audio 3,150 with a voltage doubler. I mean, from idle to full talking, it only loses 500 volts, so that's not awful. That's the update.